Welcome to the Bowel Chronicles, where we dive deep into the world of bowel health. I'm your host, Nikki Kilpatrick, and on this podcast we have raw and candid conversations with individuals facing various bowel conditions and illnesses. Through personal stories and shared experiences, we illuminate resilience and courage in the face of adversity. Be reminded that each story is personal and unique. These conversations are not to be taken as medical advice or to replace guidance from a doctor or healthcare provider. Our aim is to inspire and empower through these amazing stories, amplifying voices often unheard. So join us as we embark on this journey together. Sit back, listen, and be inspired. Enjoy the episode. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bowel Chronicles. I'm your host, Nikki Kilpatrick, and today we are joined by the lovely Tori, who is in Minnesota. Tori, it's lovely to have you here to share some of your story with us today. Tori, you are just 24 years young, and you are currently living life with 2 stoma bags and a central line. And I've been following your journey on social media for some months, maybe even up to a year now. And you're so brave, and I love your positivity on your Instagram account. And you promote body positivity and you spread awareness of ostomy. And so you have actually helped me on part of my journey incredibly. And I feel privileged for you to come here today and share some of your story with us. And Tori, you are diagnosed with a very rare disease. And I'm sure you're flattered that you're possibly the only person in the world, but this disease that you're living with is quite complex and complicated. And I've got some notes beside me, so excuse me if I look down, but this is called HSAN that you're living with, which is Hereditary Sensory Autonomic Neuropathy. Wow, what a mouthful. What a mouthful. So, Tori, if we
Yeah.
could just start off by asking you, what does HSAN look like for you in your life? How long have you had this disease?
I was born with it. My neurologist believes it happened in utero,
Oh,
or a new gene mutation hasn't been discovered yet.
mhm.
But I don't feel pain. But there are some parts that have been starting to wake up, like my mouth. But it's like overwhelming for me.
Okay.
And I don't feel temperature. I can't regulate my temperature. It's resulted in hydration issues that my condition combination with getting my culinary mood worsened my
Mhm.
hydration issues.
Okay.
Um, and it's resulted in my 2 ostomies because so I had never felt when to go to the bathroom, and in 2020 they just quit working.
Okay. So
And
HSAN leaves you with no feeling, you have no feeling of pain in your body at all, except for recently your mouth, as you explain it, has started to
yeah,
weaken up, which is overwhelming. So you don't feel pain and you don't feel temperature at all in your body. So you can't regulate a temperature, and you live in the States, so you've got high temperatures there. Um, oh my goodness. And so then that has impacted your organs in your body to the point where
yeah, like when I was younger it was more manageable because as I've gotten older, it's in my form, we call it type Tori because there's no one else that has the
yeah,
representation of symptoms. But in my form, it gets worse as I get older.
right. So as a young girl, did you have problems going to the bathroom? Did you have incontinence where you would wet yourself and you couldn't hold your bladder?
Yeah, I would wet the bed for a long, long time. There was only 1 year where I didn't wet the bed. And in kindergarten, I had daytime accidents, but I I went on a time schedule since I couldn't feel. And I took laxatives too.
Okay. So for our audience that are listening and watching today, Tori is living with 2 stomas. One is a urostomy into her bladder where her urine passes into, and the other one is into her small bowel, where her output, where her stool passes into, for her bowel. and then you're also living with that central line. We can just see it there above your shirt. Um, I'm just looking at a patch on Tori's chest for those that aren't actually watching the video. And so, Tori, what age were you whenever you had your urostomy stoma created?
I was 20.
You were 20. So in the
Yeah.
last 4 years, you have had, I think, is it 11 surgeries you have had in the last 4?
The last 4 years, it's been, I'm trying to think. I think it's been 6.
Okay. But in total, it's a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've actually you had a colostomy stoma created first, and then
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but
that was into the large bowel. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why they do that because it's
Well, because because my mom was still taking care of medical stuff at the time, so they didn't want, because like for this, as far as skin issues go, that's why they did it, and it's less invasive.
yeah, yeah, less evasive indeed. And because you're living with HSAN as well, for your nutrition and hydration, the colostomy was probably the better option. But then that failed over time. It didn't serve its purpose. And
Yeah.
then eventually they decided to create your ileostomy. So your ileostomy was created then in 2020. So
2023.
2023. So
Yeah.
2020 was your urostomy and 2023 then coming to terms with an ileostomy.
Yeah.
Double bag. How how did you deal with that, Tori?
Mm,
First,
Well,
let's talk about the urostomy, having that done at 20, because you'd gone your entire life with these issues with your bladder, and then they decide to do the urostomy. How did you adapt and learn to live with your urostomy bag?
it helped a lot, and like my faith has helped
Mhm.
throughout my journey, and like I don't know, just when I got my ostomies, it just felt normal. Like I didn't really struggle with the emotions of that until this year.
Okay. But you find that it helped you more or less instantly when you recovered from surgery. Of
Yeah.
it improved life, it improved things for you.
Yeah.
Um, but then as time has gone on and you've had a second ostomy created, and you, I guess, start to move forward in life because as a young woman now you're navigating a whole lot of things. You're
Yeah.
navigating things that, okay, I've never had the opportunity to work, I've never had the opportunity to live away from home. And right now you're navigating all of these different like big decisions that you have ahead. And so that has become overwhelming for your mental health.
Um, no, not necessarily that, but I mean somewhat, but the leaks and stuff has
Okay. Yes.
that I've
So
journaling.
let's talk about that because um you have been struggling for the last while, and that is down to your current stoma, your current ileostomy. So for the purposes of our audience and viewers today, we're talking about this stoma that comes out of the small bowel. It sticks out of the skin, and then attached to that is her ileostomy stoma bag for her poop to come into. So just describe to us, Tori, what is actually happening now with your ileostomy stoma.
So it doesn't stick out, so um it's not a good drain flow into the bag. It's always up there, and it undermines the stool undermines the wafer, so it's always stuck underneath. And I've tried paste, and that just causes leaks. And I've tried like so many products that don't seem to help.
Okay. So it's just gathering because the spout of your stoma doesn't protrude enough
Yeah,
to
because
store
when it
the water.
protrudes, you'd think it'd go. When it protrudes, it goes down. It has somewhere to.
Yeah. It's like a little spout where it can drop into the bag, but yours
Yeah.
is all just sitting around the actual stoma itself, and then it starts to seep in behind the seeds
Yeah.
control that.
Cause like, I have chronic skin irritation, raw skin, I have to use powder every time as it's not it
Mhm.
doesn't look good.
And that becomes painful and it burns on the skin whenever it comes into contact with the skin. And that's happening all of the time. That's been happening for quite some time now.
Yeah, and it's not good because I don't feel it.
You don't feel it. So you just, whenever you're doing a bag change, you actually see the burning on on your skin, and you see it's
Yeah.
raw and very, very sensitive. And so recently then, just very recently in the last few days, you received the news that you are going for a consult with your surgeon with regards having the refashion of your stoma, where they will hopefully bring it out a lot more to the
Yeah.
surface, and that will prevent these leaks from happening. How do you feel about having your stoma refashioned?
I feel hopeful because I've heard from a lot of others within this community and their advice has really helped.
Yeah, that's good. And do you find you connect with quite a lot of people on social media, Tori? Does it
Yeah.
help? It helps.
Yeah, it really helps to have that support.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So let's just talk a little bit, because I've mentioned you have a central line as well. The central line, how do you operate that?
So my mom accesses me once a week,
Okay.
and so I do a liter of fluids each day that take an hour and a half.
Each day, every single day.
Yeah.
And do you do that overnight, or do you do it in the morning, or do you do it throughout the day?
Wait, I do it mid-morning.
Mid morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Every single day, that's part of your daily life routine where you get hooked up to the liter and a half of IV.
Yeah, and like we connected dots because that it was the last few years I've had hydration issues because that's also why because like I couldn't maintain weight until I got my daily IV hydration.
Okay. So you couldn't maintain any weight at all. And you know, you're dealing with, you don't feel hot and cold, you have no body regulation with your temperature, and so you don't feel thirsty. All of that comes into play, and then you're dealing with, you've got two stomas, one which is your urine and it's actively putting output all the time, and then this ileostomy which works all of the time 24/7, pushing your output through. So you don't get a lot of nutrition the way normal people would. And plus, then, because that's actively leaving your body all the time, it is so easy for a normal ostomate to get hydrated. But you're living with this HSAN Tori type disease that makes you like dehydrated pretty instant.
Yeah.
So these IV fluids are vital. They have to happen every day in life for you. So your mum looks after you. She comes in, she helps you do that, or do you manage your IV fluids every day yourself?
I do it by myself. I just have her access me because that's different.
Okay, so when you say your mum accesses you, what does that mean?
So it's a sterile procedure. You have to wear masks and then she has to clean around it
Mhm.
with like the skin prep and stuff and then she accesses.
Right, okay. Wow.
Cause like this is where my other one was,
Yeah.
but so that dot right there where the port was. So it's
Okay.
like mine is low profile now.
Yeah, yeah. It's healed up really well. And so your mum is your main carer, yeah?
Yeah.
And how long has she been caring for you this closely? Has it been your entire life, or has it just been since your urostomy surgery?
Since 2018.
Okay. Yeah. And as a young woman, how do you cope with that? Because some things feel intimate, and the older we get, we don't necessarily want people looking after us. So, like, how do you manage that? Are you okay with that, or do you really want to become totally independent?
I'm okay with that, but I've been getting better at being independent, and my mom's my best friend.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love it. So Tori, let's talk about how you have been managing life since your surgeries, and especially in the last 6 months, I've really seen you evolve, finding your own feet, becoming more independent, and setting some goals up for yourself. Just share a little bit about what you've been up to or what some of your plans are for the future.
I plan to, well, I'm gonna ask the group home, but I plan to get a data entry job
Okay.
like sometime this year or next year. And then I'll be moving out soon.
Yeah. So you're going to do a visit of a group home where hopefully you'll
That's on
be.
Friday.
It's on Friday. It's very
Yeah.
soon. It's a couple of days away. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, to be able
I
to.
have a list of questions too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You are ready for that tour. So we are. And that will be very different because you've always been used to be living at home and being cared for. And then you're going to be able to move into this group home, have your own independence, have your friends over, and do
Yeah.
things on a social level that you've never done before, which is pretty incredible. It really is.
Yeah.
So you're excited for that and you're ready for Friday. And then you've also been doing some work, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been working for my mom. I help her with part-time data entry
Mhm.
for about just over 2 months now. It feels longer.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
managing that pretty well.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, cool. And then the other thing you've started to do is you've started to exercise, you've started to do some weightlifting.
I've been lifting weights and doing pickleball.
Yes, I've seen some photographs of pickleball there at the weekend, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome. I can't say I've
Yeah.
ever played pickleball, but it looked like some fun. And again, these are things that you have never done before, never tried before, and you're just tackling them and going straight on, hitting them straight on to enjoy life. Yeah. Tori, thank you so much for kind of coming on and sharing your journey with us today. As I said, you're living with this rare disease. So if anyone has any questions in relation to it, I am going to share Tori's Instagram handle in the show notes just below. And do drop over to your page, give her a follow, give her a like. And any questions, pop them on to the show reels onto Tori's page. And I'm sure she will answer the questions for you as best she can. And Tori's Instagram page is one of body positivity. It's one about helping others, and she's about spreading awareness with life with an ostomy and her medical devices, which you are currently smashing. So well done, Tori. Keep being you, keep turning up, and keep leaning into your faith because it is what's giving you that hope and making you strive in those difficult times. So, Tori, we wish you all the best with your consult in a couple of weeks and your stoma refashion, which I'm sure you will totally smash and you will recover pretty well. And do take the advice of those other ostomates out there online who are helping you and continue to share your journey because we all benefit from it. And all the best with your house view on Friday and the new job that will come, and it will all come in the perfect timing for you. So, Tori, thank you very much today. Is there anything else that you want to leave our audience with before we wrap up today?
I like to leave that life gets better after ostomy surgery. And honestly opens you up to so many new opportunities and
Mm,
to always have hope.
yeah. And actually, you've just given me one little thought there that actually I should have chatted about. An ostomy opens you up for so much more, and it gives you the hope and it gives you those opportunities. An opportunity that you've had this year was actually to go into a school or a couple of schools and share your journey. Is that right?
Yeah, I shared last November and then April.
Yeah. And how was that going in there and explaining to kids all about your circumstances?
It was really good, and I got a lot of good questions.
Yeah, good. And it just brings you, it feels so rewarding to be able to do that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, here's hoping that you get many more opportunities to share your amazing journey, Tori, and just encourage others as they embark in their health and journeys and progress. So, thank you so much for joining us today, Tori. Guys, from us today, it is over and out. Do join us for another episode next week when we will be back again.